Hello there.
Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, what have we here?
Jedi, we've been expecting you.
Knew I could count on you.
Hello.
Welcome to the rebellion.
What fun!
What's up, everyone? Hybrid here, wanting to talk a little bit about toys for upcoming Star Wars media and how Hasbro has ultimately changed the game since the beginning of the Black Series lineup. So, I had a topical video in mind talking about how I was very worried that we're coming up on Maul Shadow Lord, and then later we were going to be getting Mando and Grogu. And we had yet to hear anything about Shadow Lord figures. And then on Friday, Hasbro drops promo photos for 4 of the most hype Black Series of the year. I am incredibly excited for all of these. And immediately I was like, well, dang, I can't make that video about how Hasbro is ignoring the animated media. Because there was a precedent set that I was a little bit nervous about. So I will backtrack a little bit to my prior thinking before going into why I'm actually really happy with Hasbro. So I am basing this largely on my collecting of the Black Series, but earlier in the line. So in 2013, that is when the Black Series line started, and it was going good. Things were a good time. 2015 comes, and we get The Force Awakens. And Force Awakens took over the Black Series for a couple of waves. And not knocking it, you got a new movie coming out. You know, Mando and Grogu should get more figures this year than any other media by virtue of it being the blockbuster movie of the summer. It's just how it's going to be. But I was getting fearful because, again, we hadn't had Shadow Lord figures until literally a week ago. And where I was basing some of this fear from was back in 2014, Star Wars Rebels started. And Hasbro did a full spread 375 line. We got a couple of vehicles for it. We got a bunch of 375 figures, the crew. We got some weird side characters. We got that 2-pack of Wookiees and what's his name, Morgan, the pirate guy, and a security droid. Series 1 got a lot of insane stuff. And then Season 2, an insane season of Rebels. Like, a lot of Clone Wars payouts, were coming to term in this season. Season 2 began airing a few months before The Force Awakens came out. And finally, when The Force Awakens 375s dropped, we got a repack of Ezra and a repack of Kanan and a repack of the Grand Inquisitor. And, that was it for Rebel Season 2. And there was a 2-pack of Ahsoka and Vader. So it's like, we got a crumb. A very important crumb with that Ahsoka and Vader pack, yes. But looking at it, you're like, wow, this Rebels show is doing some really, really cool stuff. Why is Hasbro giving it no attention? And with that being a bit of a precedent, and a couple waves later, we did get Old Man Rex and the Fifth Brother and a couple other 2-packs. But it was long after the movie had come and gone. It was getting into the following summer, which is also where we got our first Rebels Black Series, being Kanan and Ahsoka. So it wasn't that Rebels got entirely ignored, but it really felt like it at the time. There was a lot of Star Wars merch coming out with 2 projects coming on at the same time, and only one of them was getting the merch. And so there was a part of me that was like, wow, I wonder if Hasbro is seriously considering ignoring the show. And the one thing that I had to say, no, that's probably not going to be the case, is the Vintage Collection had gotten a repack of Clone Wars Maul for Shadow Lord. And then there was that part of me that was like, oh man, Black Series will repack that Maul too, because we got that figure already. I was like, man, there was a fear that Lucasfilm or Hasbro was saying, hey, all this budget, you need to focus on the movie, not this silly little cartoon for the kiddos, which Shadow Lord is not going to be, but adults in suits just can't look at something animated and not think that it's for 2-year-olds. So, I gotta say, I was really, really super satisfied, incredibly happy seeing this new wave of Shadow Lord Black Series come. And we did get that announcement for, I don't think it's a 2-pack, I think they just revealed them together, for the 11th Brother and Marok in the Vintage Collection. It's looking like Shadow Lord is about to get a healthy offering of Black Series, which is something insanely awesome, because when you have a project like Maul Shadowlord, I consider it to be equally as valuable to the franchise as a film like Mando and Grogu, where Mando and Grogu isn't an episodic, episode 1 to episode 9, Skywalker saga thing. It's just a tie-in to a television spin-off series, and it's a very important movie. I'm excited for it, yes. But ultimately, I just consider them to be on like the same levels of importance, and I would hate to get completely shafted on the merchandise for one, because the other came to theaters instead of Disney Plus, like it had come for the first 3 seasons of its run to begin with. So there was a part of me that was getting very worried, but this really does give me a lot of faith in Hasbro. I have never slouched, but sometimes Hasbro makes a choice and it leaves you scratching your head a little bit. And again, like those Rebels figures, Rebels had the potential for an awesome run. And after season 2, Hasbro forgot about it. They were getting hit with movies all the time. We got a Thrawn from season 3, but we never got a season 3 look for any of our crew, until a HasLab made Hasbro do it. But yeah, it's just it's really cool to see the evolution here, and the team at Hasbro has changed, and I know a lot of the team at Lucasfilm has changed over the years, and it's just cool to see that the balance behind the scenes of what's more important or less important is more of a balance than ever before. It would have been more frustrating had the original mindsets been used for this. So, yeah, you guys got very near getting a hybrid, like, oh no, where are they? Rant video. And now you're getting a video praising Hasbro, because this really does feel like an appropriate balance. I think the movie being a higher budget, being, again, the blockbuster, family movie of the year, it's going to win some awards, I do feel like the movie should definitely have a little bit of a heavier, figure presence. Absolutely. It's the thing that should get the theming, on the banners and the Target toy aisles and stuff, for sure. But don't ignore your other projects, Hasbro. And they're not. Once upon a time, they would have, though. So I've always said over these last couple of years, it really feels like Hasbro is listening to the collector more than ever. And on actions like this, it also proves that they understand the collector more than ever, too. If there is any fear about what the choices upstairs at Hasbro are doing, it's been washed away, in my opinion. These last couple of years have been an amazing time to be a collector, and I am just so happy with the choices and so excited for these figures and these shows. And talk about these Maul Shadowlord figures for a second. I had said, and I don't know why TVC got this treatment, I will say it's subpar, but I had said, I believe on the last Talking Toys with the Boys stream, I will buy this Maul figure again if it comes with that cloak. And here it is with that cloak. And that cloak looks good. It's Hasbro soft goods. I know some don't like that, but I love it. And it looks oh so good. I'm so excited for this figure. And the Jedi, the Twi'lek Jedi, Devin, looks insane. I'm very excited to learn more about her character, but it appears that Hasbro put a lot of work into her. There's a little bit of reuse. Those look like Endor Leia legs, but that's alright. They're good legs with boots on them. And then we got that 11th brother, just wow, just what an insane Inquisitor figure. And Rookcast, I mean, come on, that is like top tier Hasbro sculpting. That is going to be in the top 5 figures of the year. I'm calling it now. I'm just incredibly amped by everything that this assortment is offering. I feel like it's going to be incredibly complementary to the summer lineup with the Mando and Grogu stuff as well. I'm hoping it hits earlier, because that's the other thing, is like we're getting Shadowlord in a couple of weeks, and we're still like 2 months from Mando and Grogu. And so it's a little bit frustrating that like Mando and Grogu figures are starting to hit shelves now, and we're not going to get the thing from the cartoon for like 3 more months. But at least we're getting it. We're going in the right direction. So that's really all I got to say about it. Just good job, Hasbro. Thank you for being thorough. The line has felt more thorough than ever before, with the prequel love we've been getting after years of ignoring that trilogy, and the original trilogy taking a little bit of a back seat because it was just so heavy-handed for so many years, and all the care given to the newer shows. It just really feels like Hasbro knows what I want in the toy line, what the majority of us want in this toy line, and here they are, continuing to say that they know what we want, and I'm just here for it. Great job. Thank you, Hasbro. Loving these figures. Looking forward to picking them up and getting some reviews out. That's all I got for y'all this week. Thank you for listening to a collector ramble and rant about fears that have been sated. I will catch y'all next time. May the Force be with you, and have a good day.